Be me, 24, trying to have a normal Tuesday evening. Hanging out with Emma, this girl I've been talking to for 3 weeks. She's sprawled on my couch reading something on her phone. I suggest we watch a movie or play some video games. She doesn't even look up from her screen. Anon, you're honestly too boring for me. What the hell does that even mean? I peek over at her phone screen. She's reading Wattpad fan fiction about some vampire CEO. The irony is physically painful. Emma, you're literally reading about a guy named Damien Blackthorne who owns 17 companies. She rolls her eyes like I just insulted her entire bloodline. At least he has passion, unlike some people. Some people being me, apparently. I'm sitting there wondering when reading corporate fantasy became more exciting than real human interaction. Decide to test this theory. What if I told you I was secretly a billionaire vampire? She finally looks up from her phone. Anon, that's not how it works. You have to actually be interesting. This girl really just said that with a straight face, while reading about a dude who sparkles and drives a Lamborghini to board meetings. I get up to make some popcorn. Maybe food will improve this situation. She follows me to the kitchen, still scrolling. Oh my God, he just bought her an island for their second date. Emma, that's literally impossible. Islands cost millions. She looks at me like I just explained that Santa isn't real to a 5-year-old. You wouldn't understand. You don't have romance in your soul. I don't have romance in my soul because I understand basic economics. Start making the popcorn anyway. She's reading out loud now. His eyes were like molten amber, burning with the intensity of 1,000 suns. I can't help but laugh. What's funny about that? She snaps. Emma, that's the most overdramatic thing I've ever heard. And you're the most underdramatic person I've ever met. She said that like being normal is a character defect. The popcorn starts popping and she jumps. Why is it so loud? Because that's how popcorn works. She gives me this look like I'm personally responsible for the laws of physics. Decide to try a different approach. What would make me more interesting to you? She thinks for exactly 2 seconds. You could start by having mysterious past trauma. I nearly choke on my own saliva. You want me to have trauma? Not real trauma, like romantic mysterious trauma. This girl wants me to be damaged, but in a sexy way. Emma, that's not how trauma works. See, this is what I mean. You're too logical. She goes back to her phone. I'm standing there holding a bag of popcorn, wondering how being mentally stable became a dating disadvantage. She starts giggling at her screen. He just threw someone out a window for disrespecting her. That's assault, Emma. That's romantic, Anon. I'm starting to understand why dating apps are such a nightmare. Sit back down on the couch. She immediately sprawls across my legs, without asking, obviously. She's still reading, making these little sighing noises. I wish real guys were like this. You mean violent and controlling. I mean passionate and decisive. Those are literally the same things with different marketing. Try to watch some Netflix while she reads. She keeps making commentary. Oh wow, he just bought out her entire student loan debt. That's actually really nice of him. Anon, you missing the point. He did it without asking. Apparently consent is only romantic in real life. She's getting more animated with each chapter. Starts reading the dialogue in different voices. The male love interest sounds like Batman with a head cold. You know, Emma, maybe we could do something together. I am doing something, I'm reading. I meant something we could both participate in. She pauses her reading. Like what? Suggest we play some co-op games. Video games are for children, Anon. This from someone reading about a 300-year-old vampire who goes to high school. We could watch a movie. Movies are too passive. We could go for a walk. It's dark outside. We could talk. She looks at me like I suggested we perform surgery on each other. Talk about what? I don't know, literally anything. That sounds exhausting. She goes back to reading. I'm realizing this girl has the attention span of a goldfish with ADHD, unless it involves fictional men with supernatural powers. She starts reading another dramatic scene out loud. His voice was like velvet wrapped around steel. Emma, that doesn't make any sense. It's called poetry, Anon. It's called bad writing, Emma. She sits up and stares at me. You know what your problem is. Here we go. You don't understand female emotional needs. I'm pretty sure needing your boyfriend to be a vampire CEO isn't a universal female experience. What emotional needs am I not meeting? The need for excitement, for passion, for adventure. Emma, we met 3 weeks ago at a coffee shop. Exactly, that's so boring. Where did you want to meet? In a haunted castle? That would have been way better. This girl is completely serious. She's looking at me like I'm the most disappointing person on the planet. Meanwhile, she's been reading the same book for 2 hours. You know what, Emma? Maybe you should date Damien Blackthorne. I wish I could. He actually knows how to treat a woman. He's not real. He's real to me. I think I just lost an argument to a fictional character. She gets up and starts pacing around my living room. You don't get it, Anon. I need someone who can sweep me off my feet. I opened the door for you earlier. That's basic human decency, not romance. Apparently, romance requires superhuman strength and a trust fund. She stops pacing and looks directly at me. When was the last time you did something spontaneous? I bought different cereal yesterday. She actually face palms. Anon, that's not spontaneous, that's grocery shopping. What would you consider spontaneous? I don't know, flying to Paris for dinner. Emma, I don't have Paris dinner money. That's not the point. What is the point? The point is, you don't even try. I'm sitting here wondering when normal human limitations became personality flaws. She sits back down and grabs her phone. Look at this, shows me her screen. It's a scene where the love interest buys an entire restaurant just to have dinner alone with the girl. See, that's romantic. That's economic terrorism. She throws a couch pillow at me. You're impossible. I'm realistic. Same thing. She goes back to reading. I try to salvage this somehow. Emma, what if we compromised? Compromised how? I'll be more spontaneous. You spend less time reading about fake people. She considers this for exactly 0 seconds. No deal. Why not? Because Damien would never ask me to compromise. Damien isn't paying rent or buying groceries. Damien doesn't need to, he's rich. Circular logic at its finest. She's back to making sighing noises at her phone. I get up to get some water. She doesn't notice. Come back and she's taking selfies with her book. Emma, what are you doing? Posting about my reading aesthetic. She's literally aesthetic posting about reading fan fiction. The self-awareness is completely absent. She shows me the selfie. It's her pouting with the phone screen visible. Doesn't this make me look mysterious and intellectual? You look like you're disappointed in your phone. Anon, you have no appreciation for visual storytelling. Visual storytelling is when you take pictures of yourself reading. I sit back down and she immediately commandeers my legs again. Emma, can I ask you something? Sure. What exactly do you like about me? She pauses her reading, thinks for a really long time. You're stable. That's it. That's the list. Stable like mentally healthy or stable like boring. Is there a difference? Apparently not. So you're dating me because I'm predictable. Dating is a strong word. We've been hanging out for 3 weeks. What word would you use? Practicing. Practicing for what? Practicing for when I meet someone like Damien. I'm a training wheel boyfriend. This is somehow worse than being friend-zoned. Emma, you know real relationships don't work like Wattpad stories. They could if guys tried harder. Tried harder to be fictional. Tried harder to be interesting. She's looking at me like I'm a homework assignment she doesn't want to do. You know what, Anon? Maybe we should take a break. From what? From whatever this is. She gestures vaguely at the space between us. Emma, we're just sitting on a couch. Exactly, that's the problem. She starts gathering her stuff, which consists of her phone and a hair tie. Where are you going? Home, to finish this book. You can finish it here. The vibes are off. The vibes are off because I exist in the same space as her fictional boyfriend. She pauses at the door. Anon, you're a nice guy. Here comes the death sentence. But I need someone with more edge. What kind of edge? You know, mysterious, dangerous, complicated. Emma, those are red flags. They're green flags if the guy's hot enough. She actually said that, out loud, with her whole chest. So you want someone who will probably hurt you. I want someone who will make me feel alive. As opposed to feeling dead while reading about vampires. She gives me this pitying look. You just don't get it. She leaves. I'm sitting on my couch wondering what just happened. My phone buzzes 20 minutes later. It's a text from Emma. Sorry if I was harsh. You're just not ready for someone like me. Someone like her being a person who thinks fiction is reality. I text back, no worries. Hope you find your vampire CEO. She responds immediately. His name is Damien and he's a werewolf, actually. I don't even respond to that. Next day I see her Instagram story. She's posted a quote that says, I'd rather be alone than settle for ordinary. with a picture of her Wattpad library. The caption says, "Waiting for my main character moment." Emma is 24 years old. 2 days later, she texts me again. "Hey, Anon, want to hang out? Thought I was too boring." "You are, but I finished my book and I'm bored." The audacity is genuinely impressive. What happened to not settling for ordinary? I'm not settling, I'm just passing time. I'm a human Netflix subscription, apparently. Emma, I think you should find someone more your speed. Like who? I don't know, maybe someone who also thinks reading counts as a personality. She goes quiet for a while, then sends me a paragraph. Anon, you don't understand what it's like to crave passion and excitement and to be stuck with someone who thinks popcorn is an adventure. I need someone who understands my soul, not someone who makes fun of my interests. 0 punctuation, just like her favorite books. I respond with good luck with that. She reads it, but doesn't respond. Week later, I see her on a dating app. Her bio says, "Looking for my dark academia boyfriend. Must be emotionally unavailable and intellectually superior. If you don't read poetry, we won't vibe." The girl who called me boring for suggesting we watch Netflix is now requiring her dates to be poetry enthusiasts. I swipe left, obviously. 2 weeks after that, she matches with my roommate, Jake. Jake is exactly as boring as me, maybe more boring. His idea of excitement is trying a new flavor of energy drink. But apparently he told her he writes poetry. He doesn't. He writes grocery lists. They go on one date. She texts me afterwards. "Your roommate is amazing. He's so deep and mysterious." Jake's most mysterious quality is how he manages to leave dirty dishes in impossible places. What makes him mysterious? He doesn't talk much. Jake doesn't talk much because he's usually confused. That's not mysterious, Emma. That's social anxiety. Same. Energy, though. She's dating my roommate now. I can hear them through the walls. She's reading her Wattpad stories out loud to him. He's just saying, "Wow," and "That's crazy." Every few minutes it's working somehow. A month later, they break up. Apparently, Jake admitted he doesn't actually write poetry. She found his grocery lists and was disappointed they weren't sonnets. "I can't date someone who writes bananas without any deeper meaning." That's a direct quote. She texted me this, like I'm supposed to sympathize. Maybe the deeper meaning is that he needs potassium. Anon, this is why we didn't work out. Because I understand basic nutrition. Because you don't understand metaphor. Sometimes a banana is just a banana, Emma. She's single again now. Back to posting quotes about waiting for her main character moment. Last I heard, she joined some online book club, where they role play as characters from their favorite stories. She's dating someone named Kyle who pretends to be a vampire. In real life, Kyle works at GameStop, but in the book club, he's Damien Blackthorne. Emma finally found her mysterious supernatural boyfriend. He just happens to clock in at minimum wage during the day. That feel when you realize some people would rather live in fantasy than deal with reality. That feel when you realize you dodged a bullet shaped like a Wattpad story.
Women.
Be me, 23, apparently radiating male failure energy according to my neighbor. Live in this apartment complex where everyone knows everyone's business. Across the hall lives Madison, 22, works at some marketing firm. She's got that whole put-together aesthetic going on while I look like I got dressed in the dark, which I usually do because my alarm clock broke 3 months ago. One Tuesday morning, I'm struggling with my keys like there's some ancient puzzle. Madison opens her door in full business casual glory. "Morning, Ryan. You look like you're losing a fight with inanimate objects again." "Thanks, Madison. Really what I needed to hear at 7 a.m. Just having some technical difficulties." She watches me drop my keys twice more. "You know what? You radiate male failure energy, but in like a helpless puppy way." Not sure if that's an insult or a weird compliment. "Gee, thanks. That's exactly what I was going for." She laughs and heads to the elevator. I finally get my door open and immediately trip over my own welcome mat. Classic Ryan move. A few days later, I hear frustrated screaming from across the hall. Sounds like Madison is having some kind of technological meltdown. Debate whether I should check or just mind my own business. The screaming gets louder. "Why won't this stupid thing just work?" Okay, fine, I'll be neighborly. Knock on her door. She opens it looking absolutely frazzled. Hair everywhere, mascara slightly smudged, laptop in her hands. "Ryan?" Perfect timing. "You're good with computers, right? I mean, I can turn them on and off." "That's more than I can do right now. Please help me." She grabs my arm and pulls me inside. Her apartment is like the opposite of mine. Everything coordinated, plants that are actually alive, candles that smell good. Meanwhile, my place looks like a tornado hit a Best Buy. Okay, so my laptop just started making this weird noise and now nothing works. She shows me the screen. It's completely blue with error messages everywhere. Madison, when was the last time you updated anything? Updated what? Oh no. Like your operating system, your antivirus, literally anything. She stares at me blankly. I just use it for work and Netflix. This is going to be painful. Okay, let's start with the basics. When did this start happening? Right after I downloaded this thing that said it would make my computer faster. Red flags everywhere. What was it called? Super Speed Booster 3000 or something like that. I physically wince. Madison, that's malware. Mail what? Malware, bad software that messes up your computer. She looks genuinely confused. But it said it would help. They always say that. Start running some basic diagnostics. Her computer is absolutely riddled with garbage software, like someone set off a virus bomb in here. How long is this going to take, she asks. Couple hours if we're lucky. She slumps under her couch. I have a presentation tomorrow and everything is on there. When was the last time you backed anything up? Another blank stare. Backed up to where? This girl has never heard of cloud storage. Madison, please tell me you have your files saved somewhere else. They're saved on my computer. That's not how backup works, but okay. Spend the next 3 hours cleaning her system. She brings me coffee and hovers over my shoulder. You really know what you're doing, huh? Basic computer maintenance isn't exactly rocket science. It is to me. I can barely figure out the TV remote. She's not wrong. I've seen her struggle with her own Netflix account. There, your computer should work now. Boot it up and everything runs smooth. She literally claps. Ryan, you're amazing. How can I repay you? Just don't download any more speed boosters. Deal, but seriously, let me buy you dinner or something. Dinner with Madison sounds dangerous for my emotional health. You don't have to do that. I want to. Plus, I need someone to explain to me how computers actually work. She's looking at me with these big, grateful eyes. Fine, but somewhere cheap. I know just the place. Turns out her idea of cheap is this trendy bistro downtown. I show up in my usual hoodie and jeans. She's wearing this dress that probably costs more than my rent. You look nice, she says. You look like you're going somewhere important and I'm just along for the ride. Don't be silly. You clean up okay. Backhanded compliments are apparently her specialty. We sit down and she immediately starts asking technical questions. So how do computers actually think? They don't think, they just follow instructions. But how do they know what the instructions mean? This is going to be a long dinner. Try to explain programming in terms she'll understand. It's like giving directions to someone who only speaks binary. What's binary? Start from even more basic concepts. Computers only understand ones and zeros. That sounds fake, but okay. She's genuinely trying to understand, though. Takes notes on her phone while I explain. You're really patient, she says halfway through dessert. You're really curious about things you don't understand. Most guys get annoyed when I ask questions. Most guys are idiots. She smiles at that. You know, Ryan, you're different than I thought. Different how? Well, you still radiate male failure energy. Thanks, Madison. But it's like endearing male failure energy. I'm not sure that's better. It's way better, trust me. Walk her back to the apartment complex. She links her arm through mine. Thanks for saving my computer and explaining everything. Thanks for not making me eat ramen for the 5th night in a row. Anytime you want a break from ramen, just let me know. She disappears into her apartment. I'm standing in the hallway wondering if this was a date or technical support. Next morning, there's a knock on my door. It's Madison holding her laptop again. Ryan, something's wrong with my email. She's locked out of her account because she forgot her password. Madison, what's your password hint? It says something I'll never forget. And you forgot what that was? Apparently. We spent 20 minutes guessing passwords. Turns out it was her cat's name spelled backwards. How did you even come up with that? I wanted something secure. Madison, that's not secure, that's just confusing. Same thing. Fix her email and then show her how to set up 2-factor authentication. She's taking notes again. You should teach a class or something. On what, basic computer literacy? You'd be good at it. You don't make me feel stupid for not knowing things. Knowledge isn't genetic Madison. Someone has to teach this stuff. She looks at me weird. What? Nothing. You just said something smart. I say smart things sometimes. I'm starting to notice. Couple days later, my internet goes out. Can't figure out what's wrong with the router. Madison knocks on my door. Heard you having technical difficulties for once. My internet is being temperamental. Want me to call my internet guy? You have an internet guy? Yeah, you. She's grinning like this is the funniest thing ever. Very funny, Madison. Come on, let's figure this out together. She follows me to my router, starts pressing random buttons. Madison, stop touching things. I'm helping. You're making it worse. Impossible, it's already broken. Somehow her random button pushing actually fixes it. See, I told you I was helping. That was pure luck. I prefer to call it natural talent. She flops onto my couch like she owns the place. Your apartment is exactly what I expected. Messy and depressing? Lived in and comfortable. Look around at my disaster of a living room. Madison, there's a pizza box from last week on my coffee table. And it adds character. She's actually serious. You have weird standards. Or you have low standards for yourself. That hits a little too close to home. I'm working on it. I know, that's why I like you. Wait, what? You like me? She looks surprised that she said it. I mean, as a neighbor, obviously. Obviously. Awkward silence. So, about that router problem. It's fixed, Madison. Right, well, I should probably go. She doesn't move from my couch. Madison, you said you should go. I did say that, didn't I? Still not moving. Any particular reason you're still here? Your couch is really comfortable. It's from a thrift store. That explains the weird stain. What stain? She points to a spot I've never noticed. That stain. Great, now I can't unsee it. Madison, you're pointing out flaws in my furniture. I'm pointing out character. That's a very generous interpretation. She finally gets up. Same time tomorrow for tech support? What's wrong tomorrow? Nothing yet, but something will be. She's probably right. Next day, she shows up with her laptop and a bag of groceries. Figured I'd make us dinner while you fix whatever I broke. What did you break? I tried to organize my photos and now I can't find anything. Classic Madison move. Did you create folders? Lots of folders. Did you label them? With very creative names. This should be interesting. Open her photo library. She has folders named things like cute pics, not cute pics, and mystery pics. Madison, what are mystery pics? Pictures I took, but I can't remember why. There are 300 mystery pics. How do you not remember taking 300 photos? I take a lot of pictures. Start organizing her photos while she cooks. She keeps checking over my shoulder. You're really good at this organizational stuff. It's called being systematic. I prefer creative chaos. Creative chaos is just regular chaos with better marketing. She laughs and goes back to cooking. Smell something burning. Madison, what's that smell? Dinner. Run to the kitchen. She's standing over a smoking pan looking confused. What did you do? I followed the recipe exactly. Look at her phone. She's been following a recipe for grilled chicken on a stovetop. Madison, this is a grilling recipe. What's the difference? Explain the difference between grilling and pan frying. So I need a grill? Or we could just order pizza. But I wanted to cook for you. The disappointment in her voice is actually heartbreaking. How about we cook together? You know how to cook? Basic survival skills. Spend the next hour teaching her how to make pasta. She burns the garlic twice. Cooking is harder than computers. Cooking is just following instructions, like programming. Then why am I so bad at it? Same reason you're bad at computers, you skip steps. She considers this. So I need to be more patient. Patience is definitely part of it. Finally get a decent meal together. She's proud of herself for not burning anything else. We make a good team, she says. We make an adequate team. Don't ruin the moment, Ryan. What moment? She gestures at the kitchen. This moment, where we successfully created food without calling the fire department. That's a pretty low bar for success. It's my bar and I'm sticking to it. Eat dinner on my couch because my kitchen table is buried under computer parts. You know what, Ryan? What, Madison? You don't radiate male failure energy anymore. What do I radiate now? Competent male energy with just enough chaos to be interesting. That's oddly specific. I've been thinking about it. She's been thinking about what energy I radiate. And what's the conclusion? The conclusion is, I like having you around. For tech support. For everything. We're sitting really close on my tiny couch. Madison. Yeah? Are we friends or am I just your personal IT department? She thinks about this seriously. Can't you be both? I suppose that depends. On what? On whether friends get paid in actual money or just home-cooked disasters. She laughs and leans against my shoulder. How about friends get paid in whatever this is? Whatever what is? This thing we're doing. Sitting on my couch eating pasta. Spending time together without any broken technology as an excuse. Look down at her. Madison, are you saying you like me? I'm saying I like us. Us as in? Us as in whatever we want to be. That's very diplomatic. I'm very diplomatic. You're very something. She sits up and looks at me. Ryan, do you want to find out what that something is? Are you going to keep asking me to fix your computer? Probably. Are you going to keep almost burning down your kitchen? Definitely. Then yes, I want to find out. She smiles and settles back against my shoulder. Good, because I already broke my printer. Madison, you don't have a printer. I will tomorrow. My face when I realize I'm dating someone who breaks technology just to spend time with me. My face when I realize I'm okay with it.